All right, so after we do DHCP on the router, we're going to put it on a server. We're going to use Linux in the lab. I've configured DHCP on one of my servers in this environment. So when we get to the DHCP part of Linux server in the lab, we're going to want to get rid of the DHCP config that we have on the router. So we do no IP, DHCP, pool, VLAN2 pool. So I got rid of that, and we'll go ahead and get rid of the excluded addresses also. Not sure it really matters because if we don't have a DHCP pool, it's not going to do DHCP. So it probably wouldn't hurt if we left those, but I want to get rid of it just for having a clean config. Before you do this, make sure you save a copy of the config because the config I want submitted this week is the config with the DHCP pool. So now if we look, our DHCP pool is gone. All right, so what we're going to do now is we are going to configure our DHCP server in VLAN 3. So we go look over here. This is VLAN 3. So my DHCP server is going to be in VLAN 3. And we want to put a VLAN 2 scope on that server. So with my VLAN 2 PC, sends a DHCP request, that's a layer 2 broadcast. So since VLAN 3 is in a different VLAN, they don't share layer 2 connectivity. So that layer 2 broadcast will not make it to that VLAN 3 server. So what we do in that case is we configure something in VLAN 2 to tell it what to do if it hears a layer 2 broadcast for DHCP. And what that is an IP helper address. So let's go to the DHCP settings to see that it's not going to work for my VLAN 2 PC at this point. I'm going to request an address. It's going to time out and fail. Right, that failed. So what we need to do is we need to say, hey, something in VLAN 2, if you hear a DHCP request, we want you to send that to the DHCP server. So my VLAN 2 interface is gig 001.2. So I need to configure gig 001.2. And the command, pretty simple, IP helper address, and then you put the IP of the DHCP server. So my DHCP server is going to be the Linux server in VLAN 3, 10.1.1.130. So now when I send a layer 2 broadcast in VLAN 2, the router is listening for that and is going to forward that to the VLAN 3 server. So there we go, 10.1.0.11. So that's what's supposed to happen. You got an address from the server, and that's how we make that happen on the router.